Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Crochet for Baby. Thank you for watching and thank you for subscribing. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this bean stitch hat. This hat here is for a child between 8 and 10 years old, and it's perfect for a boy or girl. I have a friend who asked me to make a hat for her 10-year-old, and this here fits perfect. I also have a subscriber who asked me to make a hat for her 10-year-old as well, so I hope this works for her. The bean stitch is a very popular stitch in my channel. I have lots of bean stitch tutorials, including this one here, which I did about 2 years ago. I did this newborn baby hat, so it's already in my channel, along with these others here, and recently this one. And I also have this other hat for adult in 2 colors using the bean stitch as well. So I'm going to leave links to all of these tutorials down here in the information box, so be sure to check that out. Okay, so one thing here with this hat, you can make this hat for any size, any age. In the information box, I'm going to leave standard sizes for the circumference and the height based on age, so be sure to check that out if you want to make this hat for any size, any age. The only thing you have to make sure is that your base chain is in multiples of 2 plus 1. Okay, so I hope you like it, and without further ado, let's get started, and thank you for watching. Okay, to begin, I'll be using this 5.5mm crochet hook, and I'll be using this medium number 4 yarn. For those of you who asked, today I'll be using Red Heart Super Saver. This here is a medium number 4 yarn, and this here is in a colored turquoise, which is more like a turquoise color. And we're also going to use in this color gray. Okay, so to begin, I have 63 chains. This chain here measures 20 inches, which is about 51 centimeters. If you want to make this hat for any size, any age, down here in the information box, I'm going to leave some standard sizes, which includes hat circumference and height based on age, so be sure to check that out. It's very easy to make. Just make sure that your chain is in multiples of 2 plus 1. Okay, so like I said, I have 63 chains here, and it measures 20 inches or about 51 centimeters. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to join to the first chain, and we're going to make sure that our chain is not twisted. So once we do this, I'm going to join to the top or to the front of the first chain like this. Okay, and now we're going to make a slip stitch, and our chain is joined and our chains are not twisted. Okay, so now what we're going to do for the first row is we're going to chain 2, and into the same stitch I just did my slip stitch, this first chain right there, I'm going to make a half double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, 3 loops on my hook, close. Okay, and here's my first half double crochet. Now go into the next chain and do the same thing, 1 half double crochet. And then again, yarn over and go into the next chain and make another half double crochet, yarn over, go to the next chain and make a half double crochet. This is all we're going to do, 1 half double crochet on each chain all around. At the end of this first row, you're going to have a total of 63 half double crochets, not including the 2 chains here at the beginning. So I will meet you here at the end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this first row. I have a total of 63 half double crochets all around, not including the 2 chains. Now to finish this row, we're going to join to the beginning with a slip stitch. And here's the first row. Now for the second row, we're going to chain 2, and now we're going to flip this over like this. Okay, and we're going to insert our hook into the first chain again, right there. See, you're going to grab a loop and make a slip stitch like that. Okay, so now what we're going to do for the second row is we're going to chain 1, and this first half double crochet that's right here, right there, we're going to work into a front post half double crochet. Okay, the next one we're going to work into a back post half double crochet. The next one a front post half double crochet. The next one a back post half double crochet. And this is all we're going to do for this second row. You're going to alternate between a front post half double crochet and a back post half double crochet all the way around. I will meet you here at the end to show you how we're going to finish this second row and then show you the third row. Okay, I'm here at the end of this second row. I have a total of 63 half double crochets. And now to finish this row, I'm going to join here to the beginning where I have this one chain with a slip stitch. And this is how we finish this second row. Now, we're going to make 2 more rows. So for the third row and the fourth, you're going to chain 1. And this first stitch that we have here is a front post half double crochet, so we're going to make that into a front post half double crochet. The next one is a back post half double crochet, so we're going to make a back post half double crochet. Next one front, next one back, and this is how you're going to continue all around until you finish this third row. After you're done, you're going to join here to the beginning where we have this first chain with a slip stitch, chain 1 again, and then make 1 more row in the exact same way you're going to make this third row. At the end of every row, you're always going to have the same number of half double crochets, which is a total of 63 half double crochets. I will meet you here at the end of the fourth row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of the fourth row and I'm done with my brim. To finish this row, I'm going to join here to the first chain with a slip stitch. And this is how I finish the fourth row. Now, you can continue if you like to make this a bit wider. I'm just going to leave it as it is. It measures about 1.5 inches. So now for the next row, we're going to chain 1, and into this first stitch where I just did my slip stitch, I'm going to make a single crochet. Then a single crochet on top of the next stitch, single crochet on top of the next, and so on, just making single crochets on top of each one of these half double crochets all around. Continue like this. I will meet you here at the end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this single crochet row. I have a total of 63 single crochets. To finish, I'm going to join to the first single crochet with a slip stitch, and this is how I finish this row of single crochets. Now for the next row, we're going to start counting these rows because this is where we're going to begin making our bean stitches. So we're going to chain 1, and into this next single crochet right here, I'm going to make my first bean stitch. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, 6 loops on my hook, 2, 4, 6, grab a loop and close, chain 1. Here's my first bean stitch for this first row. Now skip 1 single crochet and into the next, make your next bean stitch. 6 loops on my hook, close, chain 1. One thing, so that your hook doesn't get caught in these loops, make sure that these loops are nice and loose. Okay, now we're going to continue. Skip 1 single crochet and into the next, make your next bean stitch. This is all we're going to do all around. Make your bean stitch, skip 1 single crochet, and into the next, make your next bean stitch. I will meet you here at the end right before we finish here to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this first row of bean stitches. I have 31 bean stitches up to here, and I have this 1 single crochet left right there. Okay, so now here what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop working with this gray yarn and I'm going to tie my yarn here. You can either tie it or pull a big loop. We're not going to do anything with it for now. So into this single crochet that we have here, I'm going to pull a loop in my new color, in this turquoise color. So I'm going to grab this loop, bring it through the front, and chain 1. Into this same space, I just pulled this loop through. I'm going to make a bean stitch in this color. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, 6 loops, 2, 4, 6, close, chain 1. Okay, and now we're going to jump to the first bean stitch in this color gray. And I'm going to insert my hook here to the side. You can see there's a space right there. Insert your hook and you're going to make a bean stitch again in this color turquoise. 6 loops, close, chain 1. Now jump to the next bean stitch. So right in the middle we have these 2 little spaces. There's this one and the top one. You're going to always insert your hook on the top space like this and make your bean stitch. Again, insert your hook into that top space and make your next bean stitch. Jump to the next and make your next bean stitch. This is all we're going to do all around, so continue like this, making bean stitches just like we did. I will meet you here on this other side once we're done on top of this bean stitch to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end. I have this next bean stitch, and this next bean stitch is the last bean stitch that we worked in this color gray. So now we're going to leave this color turquoise and we're going to tie here a knot. This is so that it doesn't come undone. And we're going to untie this knot that we did on this gray color. And now I'm going to continue my row with this color gray. Okay, so here, we're not going to join here to the beginning with a slip stitch. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to insert our hook to the top of that bean stitch right there in that little space. And I'm going to make the first bean stitch for this row in this color gray. Close, chain 1. And now I'm going to jump to the next, and if you pull, you have the 2 little holes. So on top of this one, we're going to make our next bean stitch in this color gray. And if you notice, we're starting to work to do our continuous round with no need to join or stop and chain 1. So just a continuous round all around. And there you go. So you're just going to continue like this in this color gray all around. You're going to stop here into this second before last bean stitch, and then we're going to grab again this color turquoise and we're going to leave the color gray just like we did this color and then continue around. I would recommend putting a stitch marker right here to mark the beginning of our rows right there. Okay, so I will meet you here to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end. I'm on top of this second to last bean stitch in this color turquoise. So now we're going to stop making bean stitches in this color gray. So I'm going to make a knot here, and then I'm going to undo this knot that I made on this color turquoise. And now I'm going to insert my hook into that loop and into this stitch right there. You see that? I'm going to make my next bean stitch in this color turquoise. And then I'm going to jump to the next, and you can see the 2 little holes on top of the first hole. We're going to make our next bean stitch and then jump to the next. So on top of that hole, make your bean stitch, Same thing for the next one. You're going to continue like this in the same way that we did the gray bean stitches. You're going to do this row for this color turquoise. So continue like this all around. I will meet you here to show you once again how we're going to continue with the color gray and then complete one more row and then I'll show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this row. I'm here at the top of this second to last gray bean stitch. So here's my last bean stitch in this color turquoise. So now I'm going to tie a knot here, and I'm going to undo my knot from the gray color here, and now I'm going to continue with this color gray. So this row is easy because you can see the spaces where you need to insert your hook to make your bean stitches. Okay, jump to the next, same thing. Same thing for the next one. And same thing here. So you're just going to continue making bean stitches on top of each one of these bean stitches we did around in the color turquoise. So continue like this all around. When you come here to the end, you're going to stop with the gray color here on top of this second. It doesn't matter if it's the second or the first one here. I just like to do it here on the second because then I can easily just pick up this and continue on. So I'm not sure how many rows I'm going to do because this is the first time I'm making this hat in two colors, but I will let you know here how many rows I'm going to do. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, so I will meet you at the end of this row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of the 13th row in this color turquoise. So now here's our stitch marker right there, and this is where we did the first bean stitch in the color turquoise. So I have 13 rows up to here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my yarn and make my last bean stitch. So I have the last bean stitch here. So instead of closing it with a chain 1, I'm going to jump to the next bean stitch on this side, grab a loop, pass it through this loop and make a slip stitch. And now I've already cut my yarn and then just pass this yarn through this last loop. Okay, and then here's this row finished right there, and that's what it looks like. See how it's nice and even? So now I have this bean stitch in this color gray. I'm just going to work one more bean stitch here because after I do this, this is going to be my 14th row in this color gray. Here's the row with the first turquoise bean stitch. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 rows in this color gray. And as it is, it's measuring, let's see, from the brim here, it's measuring about 7 inches, which is about 18 centimeters. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to make one more bean stitch here where I just did this slip stitch here. So insert your hook and make a bean stitch. And now into this next 2, we're going to work a reduction. We're going to start shaping the crown. So to do that, we're going to do these reductions. So we're going to work a normal bean stitch and then a stitch reduction. Normal bean stitch, stitch reduction. So here into these next 2, I'm going to work a reduction. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, jump to the next bean stitch, grab a loop, yarn over, grab a loop, 6 loops, close, chain 1. Into the next, a normal bean stitch, 6 loops, close, chain 1. Into the next 2, a stitch reduction. Insert your hook, grab a loop, yarn over, insert your hook into the next bean stitch, grab a loop, yarn over, grab a loop, 6 loops, close. Again, into the next, a normal bean stitch, and into the next 2, a stitch reduction. This is all you're going to do all around, so continue like this. I will meet you here where we did the slip stitch and finished working with the turquoise to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end. My last stitch here is a stitch reduction. So now beginning here on this side, we're going to work one more row, but in this row we're not going to make any reductions. All we're going to do is bean stitches all around. So inside each one of these spaces you're going to work a bean stitch just like this all around. And I'm also going to put a stitch marker to mark the beginning of this row right there. So I will meet you here to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end, and from here all the way around up to this last bean stitch I have a total of 21 bean stitches. So now what I'm going to do is I have made my last bean stitch but I haven't closed it. I'm going to insert my hook into this next bean stitch, grab a loop and make a slip stitch, and this is how I finish this row of bean stitches. And now what we're going to do is we're going to work reductions all around. So chain one, and into the same stitch where I just did my slip stitch, make a single crochet. Into these next two we're going to work a reduction, insert your hook, grab a loop, insert your hook into the next, grab a loop, 3 loops, close. Into this next stitch make a normal single crochet, into this next two make a reduction. So grab a loop, insert your hook into the next, grab a loop, close. Continue like this all around. I will meet you here where we have this single crochet to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end. I did my last single crochet, so here I'm just going to join where I have the first single crochet with a slip stitch, and this is how I finish this last and final row. Now I've already cut my yarn, so what I'm going to do now here is pull this loop and tie a knot like this, and it's measuring from here to here, the bottom of the brim. It measures about 20 centimeters. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, like I said, I cut my yarn. I'm going to turn this over. I left the long tail here. Now I'm just going to weave this all around. So I'm going to put this end on this plastic needle, and now I'm just going to go in and out all around. Okay, so now I'm here at the end, so I'm just going to pull this yarn so that the top here closes, and now it's closed. There it is. So I'm going to tie it here with this loop that I left, tie again, cut my yarn, and then hide our ends. Turn it over, and here's the top, and that's what it looks like. And here's our finished hat. I think I'm going to put a pom-pom, so I'm going to come back and show you what it looks like with that on. Okay, so here's my finished hat. I added a pom-pom, and that's what it looks like. So here's this side, and here's this other side. Okay, so I hope you like this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.